Hello, my name is Alex Jordan, and I'm playing Jan, and Jan Dolski. The very first step in the process of the altars was I received a Bible, as it's referred to when you kind of start a project. A Bible which contained everything you could possibly imagine about the project. The thing that 11-Bit realized very early on is that they had to provide any actor who was even auditioning with all of the information. If they didn't provide the actor with all of the information from the very beginning, then how are they possibly going to find the right actor who could do the right thing?
It's interesting because all the things that make this project challenging are the things that make you want to do it, to be a part of it. It felt like a really interesting and well thought through universe. The character of Jan Dolski, development of that character within the story and how he had to create these various alternate versions of himself was a really unique narrative tool. Because you may have actors within games playing a variety of characters, but the thing that makes this stand out is all the characters share the same DNA.
It's been a really collaborative process, a very close working relationship with 11-Bit and with Shakasonic and with Damien, the director. We started about 2 years ago now. Overall, it's been about 400 hours in the booth as Jan Dolski, and it's been a huge challenge, but it's been an amazing challenge. I'd probably go as far as to say I don't think there will ever be a bigger challenge in my career.
We felt that this is going in the really interesting direction. Whenever you had one side of the dialogue recorded and then we're coming with Alex doing another character and all these voices were coming together in a proper conversation, that was an amazing thing to witness. Because all of a sudden, these different people are in fact talking to each other, and yet you felt that this is actually, there's something common that they have among them.
Let me talk to her for you. Yeah, that's a great plan. You don't get to just collect a few nice memories and pretend you live my life. Tell me, what do you see with your mind's eye? The first picture that comes to you. Oh, shit, you're kidding, right? Tell me this is a joke.
When you change between the altars, there are certain things that I do which help me click into their mindset and almost click into the muscle memory of where their vocal placement is. Physically, every single altar has their own physical, distinct way that I either hold myself or a mannerism that I do. When I'm playing the scientist, the whole time I'll be doing this as I'm talking on the beat, and that's because he's really thinking. Every time that he talks, there's a meaning and a purpose. If you're doing that out of your vision, it's a hard thing to do. So he had that. And then every time I played the shrink, I had a coffee cup. And I would swirl a coffee cup. And if that continual movement of the swirl felt like it had that sort of very kind of flowing thing, would kind of lead in a way that would always feel like one sentence went into the next, and so there were little things that I would do. The minor, as I say, the minor would just constantly be tense, to really kind of, get that feeling that he's always in pain, even when he's happy, it's really kind of angry happy. So I would always have these physical places that I would go to help me get there. But also, the face would change as well, I think, Some characters would just, the refiner would, whoa, dude, the refiner is really always smiling, So he's always got this smile, and then that comes through with the sound. The technician, I would have the jaw kind of comes forward, which kind of gives him this, there's a very slight sound on the S's. As I say, the botanist was just a very kind of eyebrows always slightly raised, that kind of, oh, no, yeah, he's really kind of, just happy to be here.
It's a really interesting process. I mean, in terms of when you come on to a director on a project where a team have been working for a period of time, it's really important to soak up as much information as possible because you want to feel like you are a collaborative part of that team. What is brilliant about Tomek and Kasia in terms of them being the real stalwarts of the process, they had a fabulously collaborative attitude, but they also had a really clear idea of what they liked and they didn't like. A lot of the time this is about finding the right emotional journeys, but their input was always so valuable.
When we talk about collaborating with 11-bit studios, we were really impressed how much thought and care has been put into developing the game. It was important for us to create characters that aren't just, talking with different voices, but are in fact different personalities and have that nuance. The help from the writers was invaluable. They really helped us zone in to make this game much more sophisticated. They had this beautiful vision that they explained to us.
It's interesting because I think there are certain alters who might be trickier. I would say that the botanist was a really challenging one because the botanist, he sits really at the back of the throat and he's got a very wide sound. And that comes from essentially getting my back of my throat to the place where it's about to yawn. So then, if you do that, it triggers a yawn. And I would be fighting the biological impulse that would kick in.
It's interesting because it's like having an album of music. It sometimes felt to me that Alex is a bit like a one-man orchestra. Sometimes you go, yeah, can we have some violins today? And then, the woodwind section strikes up. I've actually got quite a strong affinity to bass Jan as well, because he's got the journey, the emotional journey that Jan has as kind of like the backbone of the story, I think is really powerful.
I found the guard really funny. This is the character that is really interesting to listen to. It's just a pleasure to witness him speak his mind, interact with other alters. This character came a little bit later in the process of recording, I think in the second year sometime, and it was a very cool addition to the whole cast.
It's a really strange feeling now to get to the end of recording. I've had a lot of change in the last 2 years of my life. I bought a house, we had like family passings. As a voice actor, you often go in and you'll do like 4 or 5 months on something, and then you're on to the next thing. To have a game that I have been doing so consistently feels very odd. I'm going to miss getting to work with these characters. I know it is a cliche thing to say, oh, they've just become a bit of me now. But it is 11 different parts of myself. I'll be honest with you, it's like therapy. So I guess I'm gonna miss my weekly therapy sessions with 11-bit. And hey, if you guys want, DLC, let 11-bit know. Make it very, very known. And hopefully we'll be back.